All right, guys, I am coming at you raw and real. I'm not wearing any makeup. My hair is disgusting, but these are the days we're living in right now. And I'm actually leaving the house and I still look this way. So please take comfort if you maybe haven't washed your hair in a couple days, haven't put makeup on in a couple days. I'm out here living and doing the exact same thing. Partly because I had to wear my mask a couple times when I was flying, and I have all this makeup on the inside of it now. So it's really, I try not to, any day that I know I have to be wearing my mask, I don't wear makeup. And I just, I was talking to my really good friend and she said, you should really kind of be journaling right now. This is such an interesting time to be living through. It's an interesting time to be an essential worker, and technically I am an essential worker with what I do. So there's going to be details that eventually we forget. It just, time passes and life eventually falls back into a normal ebb and flow. And I think in a lot of ways, I don't really believe life will ever go back to being totally the same. It's going to be in the same way that, your granddaddy or grandma that lived through the Great Depression, how they saved everything. They nothing went to waste, nothing was too broken that couldn't be fixed. When you experience and you live through a time as traumatic as this, you don't go on living the same way. I mean, I know for sure, I personally, I can't believe how many things I ever absentmindedly touched without thinking about it. Now I'm pushing elevator buttons with my elbow, and the biggest thing for me that has changed for working on the road is when I've moved from hotel to hotel. I'm a flight attendant, and you have different layovers. I walk into a hotel room and it's no longer that like I'm here, I can relax. To me, I have a little bit more anxiety entering a hotel room thinking, I gotta wipe everything down. Where is the virus lurking? Where is the bacteria lurking? What am I missing? How dirty is this room? So that's been a huge anxiety-inducing state to be in, and to be traveling in, and to be living in hotels in for over 2 weeks. That's something that's totally weighed on me. And another thing that is so different is just the sheer isolation of being in a hotel room. And guys, I know there's tons of people isolated by themselves at home, but I think there's a little bit something to be said about being in your own space and being isolated. There's a little bit more of a comfort and a safety there. It's a bit different and even a bit lonelier to be isolated in a hotel room. That's not your space, it's not your comfort, and you're just trying to make do. You can't really even see your crew because you have to abide by these social distancing guidelines. And I'm not complaining, this is what we have to do right now, but I'm just making people aware that it's, with everything going on, there's nuances at play here that are very brutal about being on the road right now. It's intensely lonely. Another hardest part for me is, even when I go home, I can't see my family. I've been too exposed. I've been traveling, and although I wear my gloves and I wear my mask, you just don't know if maybe I accidentally cross-contaminated. I don't know if I'm a silent carrier. So I can't see my family. I can't see my fiance. And the worst part is, I have 2 weeks off when I get home. By the time that I am cleared to see anyone that I love, it's time for me to go back to work again. So I am diligently and excitedly waiting for these serology tests and more tests to come about so that there can be a little bit more semblance of normalcy. When I do return home, I can perhaps get a test and know if I can see my family or not, or if I emphatically do have to keep at bay. So I just wanted to come on here and share these thoughts and these very real feelings of what it's like to be a corporate flight attendant right now. And additionally too, the service style has changed so much. I mean, in corporate aviation, it used to be all about the wow factor, and I'm not saying, you become total jerks to your passengers, but a lot of these passengers, they don't really want you in the cabin anymore. You're not giving that bespoke ultra luxe service. You are getting them from point A to point B. And at the end of the day, they're just very grateful to be getting to go where they need to go. The nature of it is no longer flying people to their vacations or to their work meetings. You're flying doctors, you're flying kids to be reunited with their parents, you're flying families to be reunited together. And the worst part of all, satirically, is my wine in a to-go cup from the lobby bar downstairs, because this is kind of the best part of my day right now. I just flew from Newark to Boston, and it is surreal. It feels a little bit apocalyptic being in the airports. I mean, my goodness, the bar stools of all the restaurants are all saran wrapped and tethered together or put up, and you know, it's even when you would be at the airport at 3 a.m. getting in, it wasn't even that dead now as it is now. It feels like it's been abandoned for a long time too, because these restaurants and these stores have been shut down for days now. I can't think of another time besides 9/11 where airports just stood still like this. Another thing I've noticed that's changing is the communication exchange between anyone that you do come in contact with. I find myself saying stay safe to everyone. You know, the gentleman behind the desk checking me in, and the flight attendants that brought me here to Boston. Thank you, stay safe. And it's a warm wish, it's a well wish, but it's a sad wish. Stay safe. These are the realities we're living in. I'd be so curious to hear if anyone is feeling the same way or has anything else to share. But I will maybe be able to show this video to my kids one day and be like, this is why I am the way I am, because I lived through this. So I look forward to seeing any comments or anything you have to share about this video. I'll be posting it shortly.